Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. We are really excited to be back with you because it feels like it's been a little while. You know, we had a holiday and hopefully you guys had a amazing 4th of July. I see that all over people were getting out and having a great time, heading to beaches or heading to cooler weather. There was a common theme, I feel like, that most people were heading for water, though. That's what they wanted to do. Whether it was a pool in their backyard or a beach across the country, they wanted to have water in their lives during the 4th of July. So hopefully you guys had a wonderful water-filled day and a great time with friends and family, amazing fireworks. But we are back and we are ready for another awesome episode because today we're talking about unlocking business innovation. And it's really important to have innovation in your business and be able to allow yourself the time to have innovation, because a lot of people feel trapped in a constant cycle of putting out fires, leaving no time or energy to innovate and grow. And that's a big thing. And listen, if that's you, you're not alone. We all get in that rut of like, I come in and there's a fire and there's, oh, the employees need this and this client needs that. And you just get distracted from being innovative in your business. But when you are innovative and creative, you can help your business grow. Innovation isn't just a buzzword. It is reserved for all businesses. It is the lifeblood of all businesses and helping them thrive. Doesn't matter what industry you are in. So let's jump in. I know you come to listen to Troy. Okay. Hopefully I make you laugh once or twice, but Troy educates you. We know that for sure. All right, Troy, jump in here.
All right. So again, we're talking about innovation, and you may be thinking to yourself like, I'm a pest control company or I'm a childcare center. Like, do I really need to innovate? But the truth of the matter is we always need to be innovating in our business, right? We always need to be getting better at what we do, whether that is what we do, like the service that we provide, or whether it's like how we, like manage things in our business, how we onboard clients. There's so many different ways that we can innovate. And we need to make sure that we're looking at like, how can we do that and promote that and foster that innovation in the business. So let's talk about why innovation often gets ignored first. And really, like Trevor kind of said, is, man, stuck in survival mode. That's the number one reason. It's like, we're just too busy. We can't even keep up. We're in the day-to-day. I don't have time to even think about changing anything in my business, because if I change anything, I'm going to break everything. Right. The second one is the fear of change. We're just afraid to make changes, right? We're like, this is how I've always done it. And this is how my employees have done it. And if I change it, I'm going to break it. And then everything's going to fall apart, right? But the problem with that is when we're afraid to make those changes, we're basically afraid to make our business better. And the world is changing. What our clients expect from us is changing. So if we don't change with that, then we're going to get left behind. And our clients are going to choose somebody that does have a better way to do it, right? And the other thing too is, the third thing is basically we have no system for capturing those ideas. Like if we wanted to change it, make changes, like, and if our employees have ideas of how they would change things, there's no way for them to share those ideas. Or even better yet, if our clients have things that they would like us to do differently, there's no way for them to share that with us, right? So, a lot of times as business owners, we're thinking, oh man, what should we do next? What should we change? How could we be better? And we never ask our clients how we could do that. True. So that's really important as well, is having a way to capture those ideas from not only our employees, but from our clients as well. So now let's talk about building systems that support innovation. So number one, first thing you got to do, schedule innovation time. So in one of our previous podcasts, we talked about the CEO day, where you set a regular time to, work on the CEO part of your job, right? Working on the business versus in the business. Same thing with innovation, right? You should set a regular time where you can brainstorm ways to improve the business. And not just maybe you, maybe it's with your team as well. You have a meeting where the team, we talk about how can we make our, what we do better. You can review industry trends. What are your competitors doing? What's going on in the industry? And what changes do you need to make based on that? Or you can solve just big problems that you know that you have, right? You may have problems that you're like, oh, we keep having this problem over and over again. We just don't have time to fix it. Well, great. Let's innovate a way to fix it, right? Let's sit down, let's talk about it and come up a way to fix that. So, and then another thing you can do is if you have company meetings, definitely encourage your team members to bring like one what if idea every week or month to that meeting of like, what if we did this? Or what if we, instead of doing this, what if we did this instead, with this process that we have? Because those what if ideas can lead to great innovations in your business. So, encourage your employees to ask, what if? Next one is create a simple idea pipeline. So this could be as simple as just a shared document that you have that people can go in and put in their ideas. It could be a whiteboard in your office that people can write down their ideas, right? Some place that you can collect and prioritize ideas based on what you need to do first. What are the most important ones that are going to have the biggest impact for you, your employees, and your customers? And then you want to categorize by impact, cost, and ease of implementation, right? So you need to look at each one of those and then decide, how much of an impact is this going to have? What's it going to cost me to do it? And how hard is it going to be to implement this in our business? So then the next thing you do is you pilot, then you scale it. So you don't aim for perfect right off the bat. You want to run some small tests and see how it goes. So an example of that is like, let's say you're onboarding clients and you're like, okay, we have this new idea where we think if we do this and this and this, that'll make the onboarding process better for our clients. Well, you don't have to completely change your onboarding process and disrupt all of, the way that you do everything. You could come up with, here's what our new process is going to be. And we're going to test this on the next 5 clients that we bring on and see how that goes, right? So you don't have to do it for everybody. You just do it for 5, see how it goes, and then decide like, okay, that was either great, or maybe we need to make a couple of changes and then it's going to be better. But do the little pilot, test it out, make sure it's going to work good, and go from there. We actually right now we have a group of clients that we're bringing on that their businesses are a little bit outside of a lot of our other clients. And so we are kind of innovating and coming up with a different onboarding process for them based on their needs versus a lot of our other clients, right? And we're testing that with a couple of these. And then as we, really refine that and make it better, then we'll roll it out to every single one of those clients coming in going forward. But we're going to pilot it first, check it out. And then the next thing is systemize feedback loops. So basically, have a way for you to get that feedback, ask customers and team members regularly, hey, what's not working? And I know that's a scary question to ask a client.
Nobody wants to ask that question.
Yeah, exactly. What's not working? We just want to think that everything is going perfect with every single client, So if you're afraid to ask that, what's not working, another way you can word that could be, what could be better? Like, how could we improve the process that you just went through? That onboarding
what
process.
Would you like to see in the future?
Yes.
What would you like to see us add? Things like that. You can do it. You can definitely do it in a way and with a spin that isn't as scary, right? Because I get it. All the business owners are like, I don't want to ask because I don't want people to start thinking about what they don't like, and it's like what I'm lacking. It's like, but no, you can do it in a way that will allow them to have a voice and they'll appreciate that and feel like they're involved. And especially like if you then implement it, oh my gosh, they think you're amazing. I mean, we have Troy, maybe I'm going to steal this from you, but we have, 4 full-time developers on staff. And we have clients that are like, hey, it would be really great if we can do this. And what we'll do is we'll get a lot of clients saying the same thing. So what we do is we then implement that. We build it and we're awesome. Our clients love us for that. And that's what they think. They're like, wow, that was awesome. I mean, and they feel like their voice is heard, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's really key, right? You're not going to be able to implement every feedback that you get, But by getting that feedback, you're going to be able to find ideas that you're like, oh man, that's a great idea. We really need to do that. Some of our best products and services that we've rolled out were because clients came to us and said like, man, I am struggling with this. How could you guys help me with that? And then we come up with an amazing product based on it. Right. So, don't be afraid to ask on, what can you do better, or what other services are they looking for that you might be able to add to your business that they're going to pay somebody else to do that you could do for them. Right.
Yep.
So next thing is build a culture that welcomes creativity, right? Reward ideas, not just outcomes. Excuse me. So you want to celebrate contributions, even if the idea isn't implemented. And the reason why is because you're not going to be able to implement everything that people ask for and every idea that your employees come up with. But if you don't celebrate them contributing and coming up with ideas, then they're going to stop doing it. They're not going to come up with any more ideas, right? So celebrate those contributions. Show your team that it's safe to think outside of the box. And I'll tell you, it never ceases to amaze me. I'll sit down with an employee and I'll be like, hey, look, this is what we're doing right now. You're a part of this process. What do you think about it? And they're like, well, you know what? I feel like this part really isn't working. I think there's a better way to do it. And it's like, well, why didn't you speak up and say something? And they're like, I don't know. It's just, that's the way we did it. So, I didn't want to rock the boat. And it's like, no, this is a safe place. Think outside the box, come with your ideas, share them. Right. Yep. So that we can be better, because we all think differently. We all approach things differently, and we have different jobs, meaning that, my success coaches have a much better understanding of their interactions with clients and how they can improve their part of their job, right? That I may not fully understand. So I need to ask them for that and have them think outside of the box and give me that feedback. And the next thing too is model curiosity as a leader, right? So you can share books, podcasts, tools that you're exploring and using to learn from, like SoTellUs Time, and be open to hearing and testing ideas that aren't even your own, right? Again, listening to them is going to make them go, okay, yes, I can share more ideas. And then remove the fear of failure. This is really important. Make failed tests part of the learning process, right? Don't be upset and be like, we wasted time doing that and it didn't work. And Bob, that was your idea, and then Bob's like, I am never going to speak up and share another idea ever again. Right. So take those. Oh yeah.
I would say it's so important that nobody who is uber successful never failed. Right? Talk to any one of these people that their name. You can pluck their name right out of the sky. That if you listen to any of them on podcasts or read their books or, just watch them on social media or in interviews, they will talk about the failures that led to their successes.
Yes.
So if you're afraid to fail, you're basically afraid to succeed at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So again, make them a learning process, so that's where you sit down with your team and you're like, okay, we tried this. It really didn't work, but here's what we learned from it. Now, team, how can we make it better? What should we do instead? Right. And like Trevor said, share a recent idea with them that didn't work, and if you don't want to, maybe you're not sharing one internally, there's plenty of successful people out there that you can share their failures and be like, look, hey, it's okay. We're going to give it a shot. And if we fail, we're going to just keep going until we get it right. So just remove that fear of failure so that they're willing to step up and give their ideas. Awesome. Anything else, Trevor, you want to add before we kind of hit the homework?
No, I think that again, well, okay. So yes, I say no, no, but yes. Final thoughts is, you have to set aside time. And it's kind of been a theme for us this year. And we've said it in different ways. And we've created, different topics about it. But it really is setting aside the time to focus on your business. That's even what we're talking about in here, is setting aside the time to be creative for your business, right? and allowing your employees to be creative. But it really comes down to setting aside time. And Troy and I have really been trying to do that this year. And man, we started the year off so good. So good. 3 days a week. We were crushing it. We were like, everybody was leaving us alone. Like employees were like, hey, no, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. These guys are like working on the business and they're, don't bug them with these things and we can figure stuff out. And it was going really well. And then, as the year went on and now we're halfway through the year, everybody's kind of like, oh, hey, Troy, hey, Trevor, and we're like, hey guys, it's our time for focusing on the business. Oh, I know, I just have this question. And then Troy and I are like, oh, hey, this fire, or hey, this situation, or whatever. And we're getting distracted as well. So trust me, we live in the real world, obviously, and we're talking about things we're experiencing. And we are struggling at this very moment to do it as well. Now, we haven't abandoned spending time and dedicating time to working on the business, but we have had to adjust it. So understand that there will be adjustments made. But if you can start just getting started, picking like 1 day a week to focus on the business, allow creativity to try new things and, fail. Like Troy said, try things and fail at it. And that's okay. But setting aside that time is going to be really, really important for your guys' business. And it has made a huge impact for us this year. And I know that after the last couple of years, we could use it. Us entrepreneurs could use some boost in our business, baby. And that's what we're talking about, because you are the business. You created the business. You ran that business. It's your baby. You fed it. You grew it. And, now it's time to get back to it. It's just like a kid, right? We got to give it time, attention, and energy, or they will hate us. They will grow up and hate us. And when your business grows up and hates you, guess what? You lose it. Just like a kid. Oh my gosh. So you didn't realize it. If you have no kids, you actually have one. If you have 5 kids, you actually have 6. Troy always says he's winning because he only has 3 kids, and this is like golf, lowest score wins, but actually he has 4, sucker. So let's jump into the homework. Set up a 15-minute team brainstorm. Or if you're a solo entrepreneur, time for you to reflect, to spark something that's going to come next. Spark that creativity, right? Set that time aside with just 15 minutes. We're talking about setting aside time to focus. Troy's being really nice on you guys today. I said at least a day a week. He's asking you to give 15 minutes of your time. Give 15 minutes of your time, set it aside. Sometimes, and I'll throw this in there, sometimes my best thoughts come to me when I'm in the shower, and I'm just chilling and maybe even music's playing and my mind is off of the things that need to be done, but things start to come to me. Maybe that's your jam. Maybe it's when you're laying in bed and you wake up in the middle of the night and you've got a notepad next to your bed and you start writing down ideas, or you grab your phone and you make notes, all of the above. I do all of this, right? Sometimes it's when you're sitting in a bath, right? Relaxing after a hard day and your legs are killing you and you've been working hard, back's hurting, maybe just relax and then start to think, how can I be creative for my business? What can come next for me? So that's it, guys. I know this is a good one because I know you guys need this. I see the impact it's had on our business, huge impact this year. And we are so grateful for it. We're so happy and excited, looking forward to the future. If that's not what you're feeling right now, then you need to be listening to the podcast and you need to be doing the call to action, the homework that we give you at the end. Because if you're just listening and then not implementing, well, that's great. That's awesome. You know what? I can't even, it's like, that means you're the person watching the Shark Tank, but you're not inventing to go on the Shark Tank. And for a long time, I was like, I can't even watch the Shark Tank because it makes me mad that this dude comes out with a broom that you push a little button and all of a sudden a little scraper comes out of the broom. And so you can scrape hard things off. And I'm like, duh, why shouldn't I? I should have thought of that, right? Don't be that person. Give yourself the time to be creative and create and implement, right? All right, guys. Well, we absolutely love you. We appreciate you. We have so much fun with you guys each and every week. And again, like, share, comment, let us know what you want to hear about. But I think we're on the right track because we're getting a lot of our YouTube channels growing. Our podcast channel is blown up. It's all over. It's literally everywhere. In fact, it's in Audible, which I love that because that's like a bookstore, online bookstore, but yet our podcast is in Audible. Loving that. So like, share, comment. Love you. And we will check you guys out on the next episode of So Tell Us Time.